everybody, welcome to Cinema Trailer News. My name is Chris and let's talk about this big announcement for DC. Now this is DC, the best news for DC. Now this is DC getting the Kevin Feige. This is indeed the hierarchy of power changing as The Rock promised. So James Gunn and Peter Safran are going to run DC from now on. And this is exciting news. Now, first of all, I want to touch on James Gunn because this is such an incredible news for DC, and here's why. Now, James Gunn has this that he likes to take these obscure characters and really make you care about them and make them with some interesting layers to those characters and fascinating storylines. I can't wait to watch Cosmo and also Rocket again in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Now, he make the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. He has been working a long time with Marvel, and when he first made the first Guardian of the Galaxy movie, I was a bit nervous, and I was completely surprised how he took those obscure characters and made some really interesting storyline, but really make you care about those characters as a family and make a really great cosmic movie. And it's just fascinating. And then he made the other Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Then he went to make the Suicide Squad, which is one of the best DC films today. And from that, he got a spin-off show, The Peacemaker, which was also great. And then he made the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, who is coming next year, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special that is coming this year. We recently have a trailer for that, which looks fantastic. But what I like about this is that he knows comics. He knows bold choices with movie, and he knows world building, and that's important to have. And also he was one of the architects behind Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So this is just great news overall for DC. And let's get into the details, shall we? Now, we know that Warner Brothers has been looking left and right, and David Zaslav has been interviewing people all over the place who is going to be the new Kevin Feige of the DCEU. And now we know he's going to be James Gunn and Peter Safran. Reviewed here by The Hollywood Reporter, they have it as a DC shocker. James Gunn, Peter Safran to lead film, TV and animation division, essentially confirming here that these two are the Kevin Feiges for the DC universe. Now, who is Peter Safran? Some of you guys may not be too familiar with him. He's still someone that very much deserves a spot here. He's one of the one who helped make the Conjuring universe where it is today. Some could argue that the Conjuring universe is the second most successful universe outside of the MCU. And well, the way they're going to be dividing up the jobs here is explained in the article. Gunn will focus on the creative side, while Safran will focus on the business and production side of things. Both are expected to continue to direct and produce projects, respectively. They will report directly to Zaslav and work closely with Warner Brothers bosses DeLuca and Pamela. Sources said the deal runs for 4 years, and Gunn will be exclusive to DC. The goal is for them not just to be producer, but to truly function as executive, even as Gunn will occasionally hold a movie. There's so much to break down in this article, so let's just start off right there with James Gunn is essentially going to be the creative mind for the DCEU. Right now, with whatever was just set up in Black Adam or wherever the future is with the movies they have coming up, James Gunn is now to take the look at all that and say how I make this a natural, cohesive working universe. And I think that's brilliant. You can do what you want about James Gunn, but I think the guy really does have a passion for comic book, understand comic book characters and storylines very well. Well, he's going to give us something either close to the Marvel standard or higher, because I think the huge jumping quality from the Suicide Squad to the Suicide Squad, and him taking up the creative side of just planning out what each movie needs to lead to a big event to introduce a new character. I think James Gunn has the handle. He's even wild to think that all this happened because in 2018 somebody tried to cancel James Gunn for a couple of tweets and got him fired from Marvel, which then led to Warner Brothers to call him and go, hey, we heard that you just got fired, that you can come here, pick any DC character you want, and you can have any movie that you want to make. And he chose the Suicide Squad, and well, the rest is history. If someone didn't try to cancel James Gunn, he would never have become the DC head that he is today. What a baller comeback. Now, I think also having Peter Safran here is a smart choice, and also goes to show you how much of a unicorn Kevin Feige is, because he's a man who's not only very knowledgeable and passionate about comics, he's someone who has been in the industry long enough to know the production side of things. It's one thing to say, okay, let's make a Superman movie, a Batman movie, a Flash movie, and it's another thing to be like, okay, but how much each movie is going to cost me, and whether we filmed in, how is it going to fit in a production schedule. That's where Peter Safran is going to handle all that business side of stuff, make sure that James Gunn creative mind doesn't overblow with a huge budget and well end up getting movies that just ain't profitable. So this partnership is going to be good together. The other interesting thing to know is that in the contract is for 4 years, and he's also exclusive to DC. That means the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to be James Gunn's last Marvel movie for a long time, or maybe ever, because you know, if James Gunn does a good job, Warner Brothers are going to re-up that contract for another 4 years or another 8 years to keep him exclusive to DC. Whether they say, even though he's be running things creatively, he's still going to step out to direct a movie here and there. And they still, the other thing that makes me wonder now, does that mean that James Gunn is getting over his own outly like handling small character things? Because James Gunn has said that multiple times wherever DC presented them with an idea that he could choose any DC character he wanted to make a movie about, and he chose the Suicide Squad. He had the option to make a Superman movie if he wanted to, but he didn't want to do that because he wanted to do somebody that not a lot of people know about. Now, being the head of the DC universe, I don't know if you can really do that, James Gunn, because here in a combined statement with Gunn and Safran, he said this: "We're honored to be stewards of the DC characters we love since we were children. We look forward to collaborating with the most talented writers, directors, and actors in the world to create an integrated multi-layered universe that still allows for the individual expressions of the actors involved, and our commitment to Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Harley Quinn, and the rest of the DC stable of characters is only equal by our commitment to the wonder of human possibilities. These characters represents we are excited to integrate it to a theatrical experience around the world, as well to tell some of the biggest and most beautiful and grandest stories ever told. So right there from that statement, they mentioned the biggest characters: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, Aquaman. The days of James Gunn just doing lower characters, I think they are done. And the next mystery DC movie that James Gunn is going to direct might even be a Justice League movie. Can you imagine a James Gunn directed Justice League movie? It would be amazing. Or maybe he will do a Harley Quinn or Gotham Sirens movie, because he loved working with Margot Robbie and he loved the Harley Quinn character. Now, the other thing that we're going to talk about that I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, if he's head of the DC universe now, which by the way is renamed now DC Studios, so that's what they're calling the division, does that mean that James Gunn now has creative control over Matt Reeves' Batman movies, over the Joker film that is getting a sequel? He's going to be able to tell them what to do? Not exactly. The articles they specify here, unlike Marvel Studios, DC has multiple films set in separate creative universe. According to sources, Joker filmmaker Todd Phillips will work in the sequel, which is going into production later this year, will not fall under Gunn and Safran preview, and instead will be overseen by DeLuca and Amdy. Matt Reeves, who worked under Hamada, has built in universe brought on the Batman movie. It's unclear under whose preview Reeves' future projects will fall, but everything else moving forward will be under Gunn and Safran, essentially saying that the Joker movie and Matt Reeves' Batman universe, they're handled separately, and Gunn and Safran have no say over them. They already have creative people working on those movies. They handle their own things, creating those separate universe. They can handle that. James Gunn and Safran will be mainly focused in this connected universe that they have, where it involves Shazam, Aquaman, Black Adam, future Superman movies. If Ben Affleck Batman ever does come back, that's where their focus lies. So anybody worry about those other movies, don't worry about that. I think there's a major shake-up here, but it's a step in the right direction, man. James Gunn is going to do a great job. Hopefully it doesn't put us around. I'm excited what future holds. We just recently had Henry Cavill coming to social media saying he's coming back as Superman, and now James Gunn gets to say what storylines could be to what connectivity they have to other movies. I have a lot more faith on James Gunn handling how that storyline will play out in separate movies than Dwayne Johnson did. I'm happy he brought Henry Cavill back, but let's be honest, Dwayne Johnson isn't the man to say how these movies shall play out. All respect to The Rock. So I think this is a great step for DC, and hopefully under Gunn and Safran we'll get so many great DC stories and hit. So those are my thoughts on the news. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, consider subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.